Can someone check the stream?
It's up. I just saw it. It says it's scheduled. It's waiting for you to go live now, but it's all good. Set up. So go live and it should be good.
Alright, can somebody send the link
It
to the
should
stream?
be live right
I
now.
got you. One sec. Yeah, you're live.
Okay.
I'm your first watcher. Let's go. I'm gonna be first comment. No, nobody's gonna beat me this time.
Yeah, Daniel.
First comment. Okay. Here's the link.
Dankin. AP Lang Antigone.
It's just the Rubik cube.
It's an alright title. It's an alright stream aesthetic. We'll go with it.
Okay, that's our catchphrase for this one because we always have a catchphrase at the end. So our catchphrase is an alright.
Yeah, the quality is not gonna get any better than that, I don't think.
Okay.
This is perfect. We have three people watching already. Okay, let's quickly. Okay, now we can tell Lang and everybody that we're all good, and then we can start. It's up. I just saw it. Actually, let me. Oh, we should do like mic check now quickly. Probably.
I'm going to instead of looking at the stream.
I got you. Yeah, you're live. I'm your first watcher. Let's go. I'm gonna be first comment. No, nobody's gonna beat me this time.
Yeah, Daniel.
Whatever, but you can just read.
Oh, doesn't sound.
Okay, can people who who don't have the book in front of them read that?
I can read that. Yeah.
Wait, let me see.
Can you do it to Discord as well?
Yeah, can you?
Yeah, because
is that gonna mess up the latency though?
It might a little bit, but you guys are gonna need it to be here anyway.
Thank you.
All right.
Wait, where can I see you showing the book? Sorry.
You can click on Josh and read it. Live. I'll push join stream. You can watch it.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to read. I can't get it.
Okay.
We should have just scanned it.
It's fine. We're going live. We're okay. You know what? It's a
mediocre great idea about 30 minutes ago.
Okay, I'll just go to
the what? Who?
What?
Uh-oh.
Bridget, you lagged out.
Bridget? I think she cut out.
I didn't. I'm still here. Shit.
Hi, Bridget.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hi. Still here?
Yep, we can hear.
Alright. Josh, are you chilling?
I'm trying to figure things out.
Alright. I sent the link to the Lang chat, so we might have viewers soon.
Yeah, I'll post it on the Insta also. We're all good.
How to pronounce shit? Wait, let me see.
That is perfect because none of us know how to pronounce anything, so we're all good. We'll all be in.
Okay, cool.
I don't know what's going on.
There's no one's gonna get offended if I do not know how to pronounce literally anything.
Yeah, you're fine.
This is very hard to read.
Where can I see you?
So,
showing the
Nick,
book?
my
Sorry?
webcam is 720, and I can't even read it better on my
It gets
screen.
fuzzy towards the edges. Maybe if you give it
people also have the book. Most people have the book.
I can also.
I can try
moving it down a little bit, but
yeah, if it's angled down, then straight on.
This is so beautiful.
7 people. Whoa.
Alright, I got it on my story now.
I'm still here.
This is beautiful. It's
Can they hear what we're
webcam
saying?
setup. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Okay.
People watching, can they hear what we're saying? Can they hear us yet?
yes, they should be able to hear.
Oh, they can hear us right now?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Live right now.
we're
So
live.
people can hear us.
Wow.
Wait, is Nick actually playing Antigone?
Yeah, why not?
Yes, I guess I am.
Nick was down reading the large part.
The people who are reading, you are going to be reading from the live stream that I'm in Discord, because that will be up to date as most as possible. The stream will have a little bit of delay, which means you might not be able to read from that all the time.
Yeah, so read through Discord. So, Bridget, go click on Josh and then go click on his little...
Go click on Josh.
And then once everyone is set up, I want to do a sound check, so just have one person talk at a time. So we'll just go down the Discord list.
Wait, what do you want me to do? Oh, okay.
Sick. No, do not.
Who just played All Star? Who just played All Star? Who just played All Star?
Oh my gosh.
Nick, you know me so well. Oh, Yasha's finally here.
Yasha, here, let me.
I got
Okay.
him.
I got it.
Okay,
Hi, Yasha.
Yasha, you're playing. Who's left? You're playing whatever. What's left?
Oh, who am I playing?
Josh, you're playing Heyman.
Heyman? Okay.
Heyman, Hamion, something. Like
Guys, I need help.
With what?
Getting to the book.
Yasha, get back here.
Bridget, are you
Bridget,
on your phone?
Are you?
Hi.
Yeah.
I don't know if it works.
Let me
We're
see
live
what you
now.
have to do
We're
on your
like
phone.
about to start in a moment. We're doing a make test. I believe you're gonna be the messengers and or Eurydice.
Wait, why do I get the tiny roll?
Because you were here when we were choosing roles.
Yasha, you can have my role. I'll
But
take
I
the
was at-
tiny role because I'm gonna be having to mess with lots of things. So I am
Okay, that works. So
Hamian,
then,
and who am I now?
so then, Josh, you're now the messengers.
I'm all of the messengers.
Yes.
Okay.
Who just said that?
Getting to the book.
Anyone who's ready?
You get the book by holding the book in your hands.
Yeah. I can't find my book.
Are we live now? Has
We
anyone
are
watched
live.
Shrek yet? We haven't watched Shrek yet. Hey guys, when are we watching Shrek? We're gonna do a Yasha's Sad Place live stream.
Symphonic,
Oh, Estrella's on live already. Hi, Estrella.
a symphonic fairy tale.
Estrella, can you
Why
hear us?
doesn't
Like,
it
can you, like, in the
work?
comments so
I
that we
wanna
can
play
hear
the
us?
Shrek.
We're
Yeah,
like 10
say
minutes
carrot if
right
you
now.
can hear us. Say carrot.
Say carrot.
Why carrot? I mean, sure. Yeah, that works.
Or you could just say that you can hear us. Either one's fine.
Yeah, that works just as well.
Nick, we're not gonna play music.
Okay, at
to
some
these.
point I will have to go have dinner 'cause
But
it's my
just
sister's
now.
birthday and we're having cake and
Oh,
pavlova.
happy birthday, Yasha.
It's not my
Yeah,
birthday.
I might have to leave at some point as well.
It's fine. We're fine. Right.
All right, we're gonna start it.
Fine.
See how far we go. Josh, are you ready for the soundtrack?
We're gonna see how far
Yeah.
I can get into Beijing.
Okay, Bridget, speak. Everybody else,
Mhm.
be quiet, please.
Hello?
Okay, hold on.
Yay.
Keep talking. Just
Hi.
talk at me for a little bit. Keep going.
Okay, I will just keep talking. I don't know what to talk about, but
Okay,
can
you're
you?
good.
Is my
Next.
mic too loud? Okay.
That's what I'm fixing. Daniel,
Hello,
talk.
this is me. I'm testing my voice. Howdy.
Daniel,
I'm pretty
just
tired, but
back
doing
away from
great.
your
I love
mic.
caffeine.
Back away from your mic
Fine.
when you talk.
Hi, Josh. This is
Yeah,
Daniel.
please stay
Hello,
at that
Josh.
distance.
Okay, I'm staying at a safe distance away from my microphone as to keep everything safe.
Okay, you're good. Fiona,
Is my microphone working?
it's working.
Yes.
You're a little quiet. Keep talking.
Nice.
Keep talking.
Okay. I'll try to make my voice louder.
No,
Good.
don't change anything on your side. I can change everything on my side, just to keep everything.
Okay.
So can you talk for me?
Sounds good.
Keep
Yes, I'm talking right now, saying words. It's going well. Okay.
going. Sounds good.
Cool.
Katya.
Hello, mic checks are so fun. Mic checks happen all the time. Mic checks are a huge part of everything. We love mic checks.
Okay, you're good. Nick. B.
Oh, other
No,
note.
testing. 1, 2, 3,
Okay, you're
4,
good.
5.
Nick Lee.
A unanimous declaration of the 13
Okay,
state
you're good.
United States.
Yasha.
Today on the BBC, we are providing 24/7 coverage of the
Okay, you're good.
coronavirus.
Thank you.
Alright, we're all good. So apparently, according to people in chat, i.e. Estrella,
Just a
we're buffering.
Is the stream health good?
Oh,
on
Cheyenne,
YouTube, Josh?
Cheyenne.
The stream
Hi,
health is
Cheyenne.
not good.
Stream health is not
Hey,
good.
why do we never have any people here? There's less people watching than we just have talking.
It's fine.
Because we're still getting started, and we're
We'll
also
have-
not reading
we'll
it.
post the video
Just, like, We're
afterwards.
having, yeah, we're still like
see
getting
the-
everything.
Okay, I talk for like 4 pages.
You're doing great, Bridget.
Have fun.
I thought you said it was a small roll.
An error occurred.
Oh, you're doing so well.
Does someone want to split it with me or something?
No.
I'll split it with you. Wait, I'm already Antigone. I don't know.
No, it's
Nick, you're
okay,
playing
I'm
the biggest
chorus.
role in the
I'm
play.
chorus, so it's not like a conversation. It's
If you
just
reload
like
the people who are
solid.
watching the stream, if you just reload it, it seems to be working for me.
Bridget's
But
not like
if that
to.
doesn't work, I can.
Sorry,
try
I
and
can't
fix
hear
other
you.
things.
It's
If you're
Cheyenne.
watching the stream, try to just reload the page.
Katya.
Also, how does my
Is that
voice
Katya
sound?
talking?
This is Josh.
You sound
Good.
good.
Your voice sounds good. Your
Okay.
voice is beautiful.
Check the chat, Bridget.
Okay.
Nick Lee, you have to do it in or Brian, whoever's doing Antigone, you have to do it in a female voice. You can
Nope.
do best acting. Your voice
I
has to be
refuse.
good.
I am
All right,
not
you
going
ready?
to keep that up for that one.
Let's start
is
this.
What
everybody
does
ready?
like 1 then 2 mean, Katya?
Oh, if you look at the book, it's 1, 2, 1, 2.
Can I narrate
Okay.
the first sentence?
What?
Sure,
Oh,
Yasha, you can be the narrator.
The two sisters, Antigone and Ismene, meet in front of the palace gates at Thebes.
Wait, do we have a different translation on Josh's book? Are you kidding me?
That
my
would
God.
be annoying.
It's fine, whatever. Just ignore what we're reading.
Wait,
okay.
yeah, they are completely different. Yeah.
No.
Of course
Yeah,
they
they're
are.
so different. Even in the first speech is like completely opposite.
We're fine. We're fine. Okay, just start
All right,
reading.
I'm reading from Daniel's book then. Anyway.
Yeah.
Is
Wait,
me
does it
my
start on
dear
65?
father, whose father was my father? Can you think of any of all the evils that stem from Oedipus that Zeus does not bring to pass for us while we yet live? No pain, no ruin,
Dramatic.
no shame, and no dishonor, but I have seen it in our mischiefs, yours and mine. And now what is the proclamation that they tell of made lately by the commander publicly to all the people? Do you know it? Have you heard it? Don't you notice when the evils due to enemies are headed towards those we love?
This is a
Oh, it's
very,
me.
very different translation.
It's fine. We're good. Not a word, Antigone. For those who we love, either sweet or bitter, has come to me since the moment when we lost our two brothers. On one day, by the hands dealing mutual death. Since the Argive army fled in this past night, I know of nothing further, nothing of better fortune or of more destruction.
I knew it well. That is why I sent for you, to come outside the palace gates to listen to me privately.
What is it? Certainly your words come of dark thoughts.
Yes, indeed. For those two brothers of ours, in burial has not Creon honored the one, dishonored the other? Eteocles, they say he has used justly with lawful rights and hid him in the earth, to have his honor among the dead men there. But the unhappy corpse of Polynices he has proclaimed to all the citizens, they say, no man may hide in a grave nor mourn in funeral, but leave unwept, unburied, a dainty treasure for the birds that see him, for their feast delight. That is what, they say, the worthy Creon has proclaimed for you and me. For me, I tell you. And he comes here to clarify to the unknowing his proclamation. He takes it seriously, for whoever breaks the edict, death is prescribed, and death is by stoning publicly. There you have it.
Oh.
Soon you will show yourself as noble both in nature and your birth, or yourself as base, although of noble parents.
If things are as you say, poor sister, how can I better them? How loose or tie the knot?
Decide if you will share the work, the deed.
What kind of danger is there? How far have your thoughts gone?
Here is this hand. Will you help it lift the dead man? What?
Would you bury him when it is for...
At least he is my brother, and yours too. Though you deny him, I will not prove false to him.
You are so headstrong. Creon has forbidden it.
It is not for him to keep me from my own.
Oh, that's a chunky sentence. All right. Oh God, consider, sister, how our father died, hated and how he brought to light his own offenses, how he himself stuck out the sight of his two eyes. His own hand was their executioner. Then mother and wife, two names in one, did shame violently on her life, with twisted cords. Third, our two brothers on a single day, poor wretches themselves, worked out their mutual doom. Each killed the other, hand against brother's hand. Now there are only the two of us, left behind, and see how miserable our end shall be, if in the teeth of law we shall transgress against the sovereign's degree and power. You ought to realize we are only women, not meant in nature to fight against men, and that we are ruled by those who are stronger, to obedience in this and even more painful matters. I do indeed beg those beneath the earth to give me their forgiveness, since force constrains me, that I shall yield in this to the authorities. Extravagant action is not sensible.
I would not urge you now, nor if you wanted to act would I be glad to have you with me. Be as you choose to be, but for myself, I myself will bury him. It will be good to die, so doing. I shall lie by his side. Loving him as he loved me, I shall be a criminal, but a religious one. This time in which I must please those that are dead is longer than I must please those of this world. For there I shall lie forever. You, if you like, can cast dishonor on what the gods have honored.
Oh, someone isn't muted. You guys, make sure if you have the live open, make sure you're muted so it doesn't echo. Oh, sorry. I will not put dishonor on them, but to act in defiance of the citizenry. My nature does not give me means for that.
Let that be your excuse, but I will go to heap the earth on the grave of my loved brother.
How I fear for you, my poor sister.
Do not fear for me. Make straight your own path to destiny.
At least do not speak of this act to anyone else. Bury him in secret. I will be silent too.
Oh no, shout it out. I will hate you still worse for silence, should you not proclaim it to everyone.
You have a warm heart for such chilly deeds.
I know I am pleasing those I should please most.
If you can do it, but you are in love with the impossible.
No. It's not loading.
Oh,
when I can no more, then I will stop. Got it.
It is better not to hurt the impossible at all. Or hunt the impossible at all.
If you will talk like this, I will loathe you, and you will be adjudged by an enemy, and justly by the dead's decision. Let me alone and my folly with me to endure this terror. No suffering of mine will be enough to make me die ignobly.
Well, if you will, go on. Know this, that though you are wrong to go, your friends are right to love you.
Man, this
Sunbeam
workshop-
fairest of all, that ever till now shone on gated Thebes, O golden eye of day. You shone coming over Dircy stream, you dove in headlong rout, and the white-shielded man from Argos, complete in arms, his bits rang sharper under your urging. Polynices brought him here against our land, Polynices, roused by contentious quarrel. Like an eagle he flew into our country, with many men at arms, with many a helmet crowned with horsehair. Wait, Katya, where's the 1 and 2? Sorry.
We can go paragraph by paragraph. He stood above the halls, gaping with murderous lances, encompassing the city's 7-gated mouth. But before his jaws could be sated with our blood, before the fire, pine-fed, should capture our crown of towers, he went hence. Such clamor of war stretched behind his back, from his dragon foe a thing he could. For Zeus, who hates the most the boasts of a great tongue, saw them coming in a great tide, insolent in the clang of golden armor. The gods struck him down with hurled fire as he strove to raise the victory cry, now at the very winning post.
The earth rose to strike him as he fell swinging in his frantic arms. Possessed, he breathed upon us with blasting winds of hate. Sometimes the great god of war was on one side, and sometimes he struck a staggering blow on the other. The god was a very wheel horse on the right trace. At 7 gates stood 7 captains, ranged equals against equals, and there left their brazen suits of armor. To Zeus, the god of trophies, only those 2 wretches born of one mother set their spears to win a victory on both sides. They worked out their share in a common death.
Now victory, whose name is great, has come to Thebes of many chariots, with joy to answer her joy, to bring forgetfulness of these wars. Let us go to all the shrines of the gods and dance all night long. Let Bacchus lead the dance, shaking Thebes, trembling. But here is the king of our land, Creon, son of Menacus, in our new contingencies with the gods. He is our new ruler. He comes to set in motion some design. What design is it? Because he has proposed the convocation of the elders. He sent a public summons for our discussion. Gentlemen, as for our city's fortune, the gods have shaken her when the great waves broke, but the gods have brought her through again to safety. For yourselves, I chose you out of all and summoned you to come to me, partly because I knew you are loyal to the throne. At first, then again when Oedipus saved our city, and then again when he died, and you remained with a steadfast truth to their descendants. Until they met their double fate upon one day, striking and stricken, defiled each other by a brother's murder. Now here I am, holding all authority and the throne, in virtue of kingship with men. It is impossible to know any man, I mean his soul, intelligence, and judgment, until he knows his skill in rule and law. I think that a man supreme ruler of a whole city, if he does not reach for the best counsel for her, but through some fear, keeps his tongue under lock and key, him I judge the worst of any. I have also judged so, and anyone thinking about another man more a friend than his own country, I rate him nowhere. For my part, God is my witness, who sees all always. I would not be silent if I saw ruin, not safety. On the way toward my fellow citizens, I would not count an enemy of my country as a friend, because of what I know, that she is which gives us our security. If she sails upright and we sail on her, friends will be ours for the making. In the light of rules like these, I will make her greater still. In consonance with this, I here proclaim to the citizens of Oedipus's sons, for Eteocles, who died this city's champion, showing his valor's supremacy everywhere. He shall be buried in his grave with every right of sanctity given to heroes of the earth. However, his brother Ponexes, a returned exile who sought to burn with fire from top to bottom his native city, and the gods of his own people who sought to burn with fire from top to bottom his native city, and the gods of his own people who sought to, taste the blood he shared with us, and lead the rest of us to slavery. I here proclaim to the city that this man shall no one honor with a grave, and none shall mourn. You shall leave him without burial. You shall watch him chewed up by birds and dogs and violated. To my mind matter. Never by me shall the wicked man have precedence and honor over the just, but he that is loyal to the state in death, in life alike, shall have my honor.
Son of Minocus, so it is your pleasure to deal with foe and friend of this our city. To use any legal means lies in your power, both about the dead and those of us who live.
I understand then. You will do my bidding.
Sorry. It won't load. Please lay this burden on some younger man.
Oh, watchers of the corpse I have already.
What else, then, do your commands entail?
That you should not side with those who disagree.
There is none so foolish as to love his own death.
Yes, indeed, those are the wages, but often greed has with its hopes brought men to ruin.
Y'all should go ahead and do your narration.
I don't think that's narration. I think that's notes for the speaker.
Oh, never mind then.
I'll
You're
do
the
it.
sentry. Yeah, okay. And then Nick, you're the sentry.
The sentry whose speeches follow represents a remarkable experiment in Greek tragedy in the direction of naturalism of speech. He speaks with marked clumsiness, partly because he's excited and talks almost colloquially, but also the royal presence makes him think apparently that he should rather be grand in a show of respect. He uses odd bits of archaism and somewhat stale poetical passages, particularly in catchphrases. He sounds something like lower-level Shakespearean characters, e.g. Constable Elbow, with his uncertainty about benefactor and malefactor.
My lord, I will never claim my shortness of breath is due to hurrying, nor were there wings in my feet. I stopped at many a lay-by in my thinking. I circled myself till I met myself coming back. My soul accosted me with different speeches. Poor fool, yourself, why are you going somewhere, when once you get there, you will pay the piper? Well, aren't you the darling fellow, stopping again? And suppose Creon hears the news from someone else. Don't you realize that you will smart for that? I turned the whole matter over. I suppose I may say I made haste slowly, and the short road became long. However, at last I came to resolve. I must go to you, even if what I say is nothing. Really, still I shall say it. I come here, a man with a firm clutch on the hope that nothing can betide him save what is fated.
What is it then that makes you so afraid?
No, I want first of all to tell you my side of it. I didn't do the thing. I never saw who did it. It would not be fair for me to get into trouble.
You hedge and barricade the thing itself. Clearly you have some ugly news for me.
Well, you know how disasters make a man hesitate to be their messenger.
For God's sake, tell me and get out of here.
Yes, I will tell you. Someone just now buried the corpse and vanished. He scattered on the skin some thirsty dust. He did the ritual, duly, to purge the body of desecration.
What? Now, who on earth could have done that?
I do not know, for there was no mark of axe's stroke, nor casting up of earth, of any mattock. The ground was hardened and dry, unbroken. There were no signs of wagon wheels. The doer of the deed had left no trace. But when the first sentry of the day pointed it out, there was, for all of us, a disagreeable wonder. The body had disappeared, not in a grave, of course, but there lay upon him a little dust, as of a hand avoiding the curse of violating the dead body's sanctity. There were no signs of any beast nor dog that came there. It had clearly not been torn. There was a tide of bad words at one another, guard taunting guard, and it might well have ended in blows, but there was no one there to stop it. Each one of us was the criminal, but no one manifestly so. All denied knowledge of it. We were ready to take hot bars in our hands or walk through fire, and call on the gods with oaths that we had neither done it, nor were privy to a plot with anyone, neither in planning nor yet in execution. At last, when nothing came of all our searching, it was one man who spoke, made every head bow to the ground in fear. For we could not either contradict him, nor yet could we see how, if we did what he said, we would come out all right. His word was that we must lay information about this matter to yourself. We could not cover it. This view prevailed, and the lot of the draw chose me, unlucky me, to win the prize. So here I am. I did not want to come, and you don't want to have me. I know that, for no one likes a messenger of bad news.
My lord, I wonder, could this be God's doing? That is the thought that keeps on haunting me.
Stop before your words fill even me with rage. That you should be exposed as a fool, and you so old. For what you say is surely insupportable, when you say the gods took forethought for this corpse. It is out of excess of honor for the man, for the favors that he did them, they should cover. This man who came to burn their pillared temple, their dedicated offerings, and this land and laws he would have scattered to the wind? Or do you see the gods as honoring criminals? This is not so. But what I am doing now, and other things before this, some men disliked within this very city, and muttered against me, secretly shaking their heads. They would not bow down. They would not bow justly beneath the yoke to submit to me. I am very sure that these men hired others to do this thing. I tell you, the worst currency that ever grew among mankind is money. This sacks cities, this drives people from their homes, and teaches and corrupts the minds of the loyal to acts of shame. This displays all kinds of evil for the youth of men, instructs in the knowledge of every impious act. Those that have done this deed have been paid to do it, but in the end they will pay for what they have done. It is as sure as I will reverence Zeus. Know this right well, and I speak under oath. If you and your fellows do not find this man who with his own hand did the burial, and bring him here before me face to face, your death alone will not be enough. You will hang alive till you open up this outrage. That will teach you in the days to come from what you may draw profit, safely, from your plunder. It's not from anything and everything you can grow rich. You will find out that ill-gotten gains ruin more than they save.
Have I your leave to say something, or should I just turn and go?
Don't you know your talk is painful enough already?
Is the ache in your ears or in your mind?
Why do you dissect the whereabouts of my fate?
Because it is he who did the deed who hurts your mind. I only hurt your ears that listen.
I'm sure you've been a chatterbox since you were born.
All the same, I did not do this thing.
You might have done this too if you sold your soul.
Oh my god.
It's a bad thing if one judges, and judges wrongly.
You may talk as wittingly as you like of judgment, only if you don't bring to light those men who have done this, you will yet come to say that your wretched gains have brought bad consequences.
It were best that he were found, but whether the criminal is taken or he isn't, for that chance will decide. One thing is certain. Loading. You'll never see me coming here again. I never hoped to escape, never thought I could, but now I've come off safe. I thank God heartily.
Many are the wonders, none is many more wonderful than what is man. That is that crosses the sea, with the south wind storming and the waves swelling, breaking around him in roaring surf. He it is again who wears away the earth, oldest of gods, immortal, unwearied, as the plough wind across her from year to year, when he works her with the breed that comes from verses. The tribe of the light-hearted birds he snares, and takes prisoner the races of savage beasts, the brood of the fish of the sea, with the close-spun web of nets. A cunning fellow is man. His contrivances make him master of beasts of the field, and those that move. So he brings a horse with the shaggy neck to bend underneath the yoke, and also the untamed mountain. And speech and windswift thought and the tempers that go with city living has taught himself, and how to avoid the sharp frost, when lodging is cold under the open sky, and pelting strokes of the rain. He has a way against everything, and faces nothing that is to come without contrivance. Only against death can he call on no means of escape, but escape from hopeless diseases he has found in the depth of his mind. With some sort of cunning, inventive, beyond all expectation, he reaches sometimes evil, sometimes good. If he honors the laws of earth and the justice of the gods that he is confirmed by oath, high as his city, no city has he with whom dwells dishonor, prompted by recklessness, he who is so, he may never share my earth. May he never think my thought. Sorry, my phone is glitchy.
Good.
Is this a portent sent by God? I cannot tell. I know her. How can I say that this is not Antigone? Unhappy child, child of unhappy what is this? Surely it is not you they bring here as disobedient to the royal. Surely not you taken in such fault.
Nick.
She is the one who did the deed. We took her burying him. Where is Creon?
He is just coming home. He is just coming from the house when you most need him.
What is this? What has happened that I come so opportunely?
My lord, there is nothing that a man should swear he would never do. Second thoughts make liars of the first resolution. I would have vowed it would be long enough before I came again, lashed hence by your threats. But since no joy that comes past hope, and against all hope, is like no other pleasure in extent, I have come here, though I break my oath in coming. I bring this girl here who has been captured, giving the grace of burial to these dead men. This time no lot chose me. This was my jackpot, and no one else's. Now, my lord, take her, and as you please judge her and test her. I am justly free and clear of all this trouble.
This girl. How did you take her, and from where?
She was burying the man. Now you know all.
Do you know what you are saying? Do you mean it?
She is the one. I saw her burying the dead man you forbade the burial of. Now, do I speak plainly and clearly enough?
How was she seen? How was she caught in the act?
This is how it was. When we came there, with those dreadful threats of yours upon us, we brushed off all the dust that lay upon the dead man's body, heedfully, leaving it moist and naked. We sat on the brow of the hill, to windward, that we might shun the smell of the corpse upon us. Each of us wakefully urged his fellow with torrents of abuse not to be careless in this work of ours. So it went on, until the midst of the sky, the sun's bright circle stood still. The heat was burning. Suddenly, to squall lifted out of the earth a storm of dust, a trouble in the sky. It filled the plain, ruining all the foliage of the world that was around it. The great empty air was filled with it. We closed our eyes, enduring this plague sent by the gods. When at long last we were quit of it, why, then we saw the girl. She was crying out with the shrill cry of an embittered bird that sees its nest robbed of its nestlings, and the bed empty. So, too, when she saw the body stripped of its cover, she burst out in groans, calling terrible curses on those that had done that, and with her hands immediately brought thirsty dust to the body. From a shapely brazen urn, held high over it, poured a triple stream of funeral offerings, and crowned the corpse. When we saw that, we rushed upon her, and caught our quarry, then and there, not a bit disturbed. We charged her with what she had done, then and the first time. She did not deny a word of it, to my joy, but to my pain as well. It is most pleasant to have escaped oneself out of such troubles, but painful to bring into it those whom we love. However, it is but natural for me to count all this less than my own escape.
You there, that turn your eyes upon the ground, you confess or deny what you have done.
No, it turns sideways.
Sorry, Nick.
Oh, it's me. Yes, I confess, I will not deny my deed.
You take yourself off where you like. You are free of a heavy charge. Now, Antigone, tell me shortly and to the point. Did you know the proclamation against your action?
I knew it. Of course I did, for it was public.
And I'm so sorry, guys. I actually have to nod out. I have an interview, so I'm gonna go.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay. I could be Creon, I guess, because I think Ismini has no more like.
So, don't know if people noticed, but I switched over to a PDF. So if people
Yeah,
are
which
struggling,
Oh, I haven't paid.
Yeah, I noticed.
We could just read off that and
so
not.
if everyone, yeah, I was gonna say
do
if
this.
everyone wanted to read off of the PDF, then it would all be the same.
Oh, we could just do that. Yeah, that looks easy.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's just do that.
I put
All
the
right,
link.
bye,
in the,
Katya.
I put the link
Bye,
in the
Katya.
chat.
Okay, so where are we in the PDF? Because I've been following along with the book, which is completely different.
So it's
Right.
if you scroll down to 355 on the side, in the PDF,
Thank
there's
you.
numbers on the side.
That's 355.
We're about
Line
there. Yeah.
55. Let's see.
Oh,
if that
perfect. Okay,
lines
because yeah,
up.
people were having a whole bunch of trouble prior, so hopefully this is gonna work better. now.
I
Do
found it.
confess
Thank
this
you.
thing. Okay, I'll say I
Okay,
do.
so I'll
deny
become
not
Creon. I am Creon now.
Okay, so
And if people don't need me to be streaming in Discord anymore, I'm gonna stop that stream.
Is the
Yeah, that's fine.
PDF the same as a book? Or
No, it's different. We're just gonna go off the
it's-
different
PDF.
translation.
I don't know what book you have, but it's different from the one I had and the one that they were reading.
Yeah, so it's a completely different translation, but if we're all using it, then nobody's confused.
Oh God. Okay. This is what happens when you use when you try to read ancient Greek stuff.
Yeah.
SMH, I hate it when that happens.
Okay, what page are we? We're on 3.
Oh, we're on
Line
355-ish.
355. Are you ready, Daniel?
We'll be at 420 soon.
Yes. Well, I mean, right now it's your like mini talk.
Oh, am I gonna? I'll say it was public. Could I help hearing it?
Okay. And yet you dare defy the law.
Daniel, away from
I
your
dared.
mic.
Away from my mic. Okay.
It was not God's proclamation, that final justice, that rules the world below makes no such laws. Your edict, king, was strong, but all your strength is weakness itself against the immortal, unrecorded laws of God. They are not merely now, they were and shall be operative forever, beyond man utterly. I knew I must die, and even without your decree, I am only mortal. And if I must die, now, before it is my time to die, surely this is no hardship. Can anyone, living as I live, with all evil about me, think death less than a friend? This death of mine is of no importance. But if I had left my brother lying in death unburied, I should have suffered. Now I do not. You smile at me. Ah, Creon, think me a fool if you like, but it may well be that a fool convicts me of folly.
Like father, like daughter, headstrong, deaf to reason, she has never learned to yield. She has so much to learn. The inflexible heart breaks first, the toughest iron cracks first, and the wildest horses bend their necks at the pull of the smallest curb. Pride in a slave, this girl is guilty of a double in breaking the given law and boasting of. Who is the man here, she or I, if this crime goes unpunished? Sister's child, or more than sister's child, or closer yet in. She and her sister win bitter death for this. Go, some of you. Arrest Ismene. I accuse her equally. Bring her. You will find her sniffling in the house there. Her mind's a traitor, crimes kept in the dark, cry for light, and the guardian brain shudders. But now, much worse than this, is brazen boasting of barefaced anarchy.
Creon, what more do you want than my death?
Nothing. That gives me everything.
Then I beg you, kill me. This talking is a great weariness. Your words are distasteful to me, and I am sure that mine seem so to you. And yet they should not seem so. I should have praise and honor for what I have done. All these men here would praise me were their lips not frozen shut with fear of you. Ah, the good fortune of kings, licensed to say and do whatever they please.
Oh, oops. You are alone here in that opinion.
Oh shit. Sorry. Okay. No. No, they are with me, but they keep their tongues in leash.
Maybe, But you are guilty, and they are not.
There is no guilt in reverence for the dead.
But Eteocles, was he not your brother too?
My brother too.
And you insult his memory.
The dead man would not say that I insulted.
He would, for you honor a traitor as much as him.
His own brother, traitor or not, and equal in blood.
He made war on his country. Eteocles defended it.
Nevertheless, there are honors due all the dead.
But not the same for the wicked as for the just.
Ah, Creon, Creon, which of us can say what the gods hold wicked?
An enemy is an enemy, even dead.
It is May nature to join in love, not hate.
Go, join them then, if you must... Oh wait, I got lost. Go, join them then. If you must have your love, find it in hell. Wow.
But see, Ismene comes. Those tears are sisterly. The cloud that shadows her eyes rains down some gentle sorrow.
You too is mean, snake in my ordered house, sucking my blood stealthily, and all the time I never knew that these two sisters were aiming at my throne. Ismene, do you confess your share in this crime or deny it? Answer me. Oh wait, I'm playing Ismene also. Yes, if she will let me say so, I am guilty.
No, Ismene, you have no right to say so. You would not help me, and I will not have you help me.
But now I know what you meant, and I am here to join you, to take my share of punishment.
The dead man and the gods who rule the dead know whose act this was. Words are not friends.
Do you refuse me, Antigone? I want to die with you. I, too, have a duty that I must discharge for the dead.
You shall not lessen my death by sharing it.
What do I care for life when you are dead?
Ask Creon. You're always hanging on his opinions.
You are laughing at me. Why, Antigone?
It's a joyless laughter, Ismene.
But can I do nothing?
Yes, save yourself. I shall not envy you. There are those who will praise you. I shall have honor, too.
But we are equally guilty.
No more, Ismene. You are alive, but I belong to death.
Oh, I'm gonna have to talk with myself here. Does somebody... Okay, whatever, I'll just say...
Somebody else could be Creon, yeah.
Yeah. Sure, somebody else be Ismene for
I'll
a
be
bit.
Ismene for a bit.
Josh, yeah. Okay. Gentlemen, I beg you to observe these girls. One has just now lost her mind. The other, it seems, has never had a mind at all. Roasted.
Grief teaches the steadiest minds to waver, King.
Yours certainly did, when you assumed guild with the guilty.
But how could I go on living without her?
You are. She is already dead.
But your own son's bride.
There are places enough for him to push his plow. I want no wicked woman for my sons.
Oh, dearest Hamion, how your father wronged you.
I've had enough of your childish talk of marriage.
Do you really intend to steal this girl from your son?
No, death will do that for me.
Then she must die?
You dazzle me. But enough of this talk. You there, take them away and guard them well, for there but women and even brave men run when they see death coming.
We leave. Josh, can you move your mic slightly away from your mouth?
Yeah.
Wait, was that not my character?
Cool. I think you're chilling.
That was you, I think.
Wait,
But
who's
then there's
Karagos?
Paragos,
Wait,
of course.
what?
Yeah, we're good.
They're the
Wait, who's-
same?
I think
But there's
so.
a chorus down there.
Oh!
What?
Oh, Koragos is a person then. Wow.
Did I steal
Here.
someone's role?
My book has the...
We are doing so great.
The chorus is composed
Fiona
of
still here?
senators of Thebes.
No, Fiona's dead.
Fiona, no.
I'm
I
here.
killed her.
Hi, Fiona. Yay.
Hi, Fiona.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
Do
Just
you
do
want to
both?
read that whole chorus scene? If not, like, you can split it with
Oh.
somebody that hasn't read yet, like
Oh,
Yasha.
Actually, that
And-
chorus is a ton of different people. You've got Strophe 1, Anastrophe 1, Strophe 2, and Anastrophe 2.
Oh,
So many.
I'll be Anastrophe 1.
Fiona, you can be one of them if you want, because you
I'll
haven't
be
talked.
Strophe 2. I'll be Anastrophe 2.
I can just do the first paragraph.
Okay,
Okay.
Fiona, you're Strophe 2.
Trophy.
Okay.
Okay. You won.
Fortunate. Wait.
Yeah.
Did you read that first part?
No, you go.
Okay. Fortunate is the man who has never tasted God's vengeance. Where once the anger of heaven has struck, that house is shaken forever. Damnation rises behind each child like a wave cresting out of the black northeast, when the long darkness under sea roars up and bursts drumming death upon the wind-whipped sand.
I have seen this gathering sorrow from time long past loom upon Oedipus' children. generation from generation, take the compulsive rage of the enemy god. So lately this last flower of Oedipus's line drank the sunlight, but now a passionate ward, and a handful of dust have closed up all its beauty.
What mortal arrogance transcends the wrath of Zeus? Sleep cannot lull him, nor the effortless long months of the timeless gods, but he is young forever, and his house is the shining day of high Olympus. All that is and shall be, and all the past is his. No pride on earth is free of the curse of heaven.
The strange dreams of men may bring them ghosts of joy, but as they drowse, the waking embers burn them, or they walk with fixed eyes, as blind men walk. But the ancient wisdom speaks for her own time. Fate works most for woe with folly's fairest show. Man's little pleasure is the spring of sorrow.
So do you guys want me to
Scene
keep reading
3.
this? Do you guys want me to keep reading this character?
Yeah, Bridget, just play Karagos.
Okay.
I think that's the choir, like, in
Okay.
the actual play. Yeah.
Can I be?
But here's Haimon King, the last of all.
Yasha's Hyman, I think.
Oh, okay.
What? Okay,
You're good.
I'm gonna keep
You're all
going.
good.
But here's Haimon King, the last of all your sons. Is it grief for Antigone that brings him here, and bitterness at being robbed of his bride?
We shall soon see, and no need of diviners. Son, you have heard my final judgment on that girl. Have you come here hating me, or have you come with defense and with love? Whatever I do.
I am your son, father. You are my God. You make things clear for me, and I obey you. No marriage means more to me than your continuing wisdom.
Oh, I don't want to read a page. Okay. Good. That is the way to behave. Subordinate. Everything else, my son, to your father's will. That is what a man prays for, that he may get sons attentive and dutiful in his house, each one hating his father's enemies, honoring his father's friends.
Death of a salesman.
But if his sons, death of a salesman, yeah. But if his sons fail him, if they turn out unprofitably, what he has fathered but trouble for himself, or what has he fathered but trouble for himself? An amusement for the malicious. So you're right, not to lose your head over this woman. Your pleasure with her would soon grow cold, Haman, and then you'd have a hellcat in bed and elsewhere. Leave her, find her husband in hell. What? Of all people in this city, only she has had contempt for my law and broken it. Do you want me to show myself weak before the people, or to break my sworn word? No, and I will not. The woman dies. I suppose she'll plead family ties. Well, let her. If I permit my own family to rebel, how shall I earn the world's obedience? Show me the man who has kept his house in hand. He's fit for public authority. I'll have no dealings with lawbreakers, critics of the government. Whoever is chosen to govern should be obeyed. Must be obeyed, in all things great and small, just and unjust. O Haman, the man who knows how to obey, and that man only, knows how to give commands when the time comes. You can depend on him, no matter how fast the spear comes. He's a good soldier, he'll stick it out. Anarchy, anarchy. Show me a greater evil. This is why cities tremble and the great houses rain down. This is what scatters armies. No, no. Good lives are made so by discipline. We must keep the laws then, and the lawmakers. And no woman shall seduce us if we must lose. Let's lose to a man at least. Is a woman stronger than we?
Damn.
Unless time has rusted my wits, what say you, king, is said with point and dignity.
Father, reason is God's crowning gift to man, and you are right to warn me against losing mine. I cannot say, I hope that I shall never dissay, that you have reasoned badly. Yet there are other men who can reason too, and their opinions might be helpful. You are not in a position to know everything that people say or do or what they feel. Your temper terrifies them. Everyone will tell you only what you like to hear, but I, at any rate, can listen. And I have heard them muttering and whispering in the dark about this girl. They say no woman has ever so unreasonably died so shameful a death for a generous act. She covered her brother's body. Is this indecent? She kept him from the dogs and vultures. Is this a crime? Death? She should have all the honors that we can give her. This is the way they talk out there in the city. You must believe me. Nothing is closer to me than your happiness. What could be closer? Must not any son value his father's fortune as his father does his? I beg you, do not be unchangeable. Do not believe that you alone can be right. The man who thinks that, the man who maintains that only he has the power to reason correctly, the gift to speak, to soul, A man like that, when you know him, turns out empty. It is not reason, never to yield to reason. In flood time, you can see how some trees bend, and because they bend, even their twigs are safe, while stubborn trees are torn up, roots and all. And the same thing happens in sailing. Make your sheet fast, never slacken, and over you go. Head over heels and under, there's your voyage. Forget you are angry. Let yourself be moved. I know I am young, but please let me say this. The ideal condition would be, I admit, that men should be right by instinct. But since we're all too likely to go astray, the reasonable thing is to learn from those who can teach.
You would do well. What?
Wait,
You
I
would,
got lost. What page are we
You're
on?
good, Bridget. We're
Okay.
on line 585.
you will do well to listen to him, king, if what he says is sensible. And you, Haman, must listen to your father. Both speak well.
You consider it right for a man of my years and experience to go to school to a boy.
It is not right if I am wrong. But if I am young and right, what does my age matter?
You think it's right to stand up for an anarchist?
Not at all. I pay no respect to criminals.
Then she is not a criminal,
The city proposes to teach me how to rule?
and the city proposes to teach me how to rule.
Ah, who is it that's talking like a boy now?
My voice is the one voice giving orders in the city.
It is no city if it takes orders from one voice.
The state is the king.
Yes, if the state is a desert.
This boy, it seems, he sold out to a woman.
If you are a woman, my concern is only for you.
So your concern in a public brawl with your father?
How about you in a public brawl with justice?
With justice, when all I do is within my rights?
You have no right to trample on God's right.
Fool! Adolescent fool! Taken in by a woman.
You'll never see me taken in by anything vile.
Every word you say is for her.
And for you. And for me. And for the gods under the earth.
You'll never marry her while she lives.
Then she must die. But her death will cause another.
Another. Have you lost your senses? Is this an open threat?
There is no threat in speaking to emptiness.
I swear you'll regret this superior tone of yours. You are the empty one.
If you were not my father, I'd say you were perverse.
You girl-struck fool, don't play at words with me.
I'm sorry. You prefer silence.
Now by God, I swear by all the gods in heaven above us, you'll watch it, I swear you shall. Bring her out, bring the woman out, let her die before his eyes. Here this instant, with her bridegroom beside her.
Not here, no, she will not die here, king. And you'll never see my face again. Go on raving as long as you've a friend to endure you.
Gone, gone. Creon, a young man in a rage is dangerous.
Let him do, or dream to do, more than a man can. He shall not save these girls from...
These girls, you have sentenced them both?
No, you are right. I will not kill the one whose hands are clean.
But Antigone?
I will carry her far away, out there in the wilderness, and lock her, living in a vault of stone. She shall have food, as the custom is, to absolve the state of her death. And there let her pray to the gods of hell. They are her only gods. Perhaps they will show her an escape from death. Or she may learn, though late, that piety shown the death is pity in vain. What?
Ode 3. That was a
Okay. Love
spicy little
unconquerable.
scene.
What?
Nothing.
Love unconquerable, waster of rich men, keeper of warm lights and all-night vigil in the soft face of sea wanderer, forest visitor, even the pure immortals cannot escape you, and mortal man, in his one day's dusk, trembles before your glory.
Nick, you should go.
It's funny how there's a lot of spelling mistakes in this.
Sorry, I was muted. What?
It's just antistrope instead of antistrophe.
I was actually writing up my noodle tool as you were reading, so...
Line 650 if you want to.
650. You're reading the antistrope.
Whoa, cool, okay. Surely you swerve upon ruin, the just man's consenting heart, as here you have made bright anger strike between father and son, and none has conquered but love, the girl's glance working the will of heaven, pleasure to her alone who mock us, merciless Aphrodite.
Scene 4.
Wait, it's scene now?
But I can no
This
longer
is
stand.
transcribed weirdly.
There's act and scene. It's a play.
But I can no longer stand in awe, or seeing what I see, keep back my tears. Here is Antigone, passing to that chamber where all minds sleep at last.
Look upon me, friends, and pity me, turning back at the night's edge to say goodbye to the sun that shines for me no longer. Now sleepy death summons me down to Archeron, that cold shore. There is no bride song there, nor any music.
Yet not unpraised, not without a kind of honor. You walk at last under, untouched by sickness, broken by no sword. What woman has ever found your way to death?
How often I have heard the store of Niobe, Tantalos' wretched daughter, how the stone clung fast about her, ivy close, and they say the rain falls endlessly, and rifting soft snow, her tears are never done. I feel the loneliness of her death in mine.
But she was born of heaven, and you are woman, woman born. If her death is yours, is this not for you glory in the beyond?
You laugh at me. Ah, friends, friends, can you not wait until I am dead? O Thebes, O men many charioted, in love with fortune, dear spring of Dirce, sacred Theban grove, be witnesses for me, denied all pity, unjustly judge, and think a word of love, for her whose path turns under dark earth where there are no more tears.
You have passed beyond human daring and come at last into a place of stone where justice sits. I cannot tell what shape of your father's guilt appears in.
You have touched it at last, that bridal bed, unspeakable horror of son and mother mingling. Their crime, infection of all our family. O Oedipus, father and brother, your marriage strikes from the grave to murder mine. I have been a stranger here in my own land. All my life, the blasphemy of my birth has followed me.
Reverence is a virtue, but strength lives in established law. That must prevail. You have made your choice. Your death is the doing of your conscious mind. Hand. What?
Then let me go, since all your words are bitter, and the very light of the sun is cold to me. Lead me to my vigil, where I must have neither love nor lamentation, no song, but silence. You're supposed to interrupt, Daniel.
Oh, I muted myself. Sorry, I muted myself. If dirges and planned lamentations could put of death, men would be singing forever. Take her, go. You know your orders. Take her to the vault, and leave her alone there. And if she lives or dies, that's her affair, not ours. Our hands are clean.
O tomb, vaulted bride bed in eternal rock, soon I shall be with my own again, where Persephone welcomed the thin ghost underground, and I shall see my father again, and you, mother, and dearest Polynices, dearest indeed, to me, since it was my hand that washed him clean and poured the ritual wine, and yet my reward is death before my time. And yet, as men's hearts know, I have done no wrong, I have not sinned before God. Or if I have, I shall know the truth in death. But if the guilt lies upon Creon who judged me, then I pray may his punishment equal my own.
O passionate heart, unyielding, tormented by the same wind.
Her guards shall have good cause to regret their delaying.
Ah, that voice you know reason to think voice of death.
I can give you no reason to think you are mistaken.
Thebes, and you my father's gods, and rulers of Thebes, you see me now, the last unhappy daughter of a line of kings, your kings, led away to death. You will remember what things I suffer, and at what men's hands, because I would not transgress the laws of heaven. Come, let us wait no longer.
Okay. That's me. Sorry.
I think strophe and anastrophe are like ways of speaking,
Oh, really?
because I had them in my speech, and I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know what that means. We're fine.
Yeah.
Dana's beauty was locked away in a brazen cell where the sunlight could not come. A small room, as any grave, enclosed her. Yet she was a princess too, and Zeus in a rain of gold poured upon her. O child, child, no power and wealth or tough sea-blackened ships can prevail against untiring destiny. Do you want me to read the other part too?
It's a long
Sure.
section again. I can read it if you want.
Okay.
Andrias' son, also that furious king, bore the god's prisoning anger for his pride, sealed up by Dasons and death stone, his madness died among echoes. So, at the last, he learned what dreadful power his tongue had mocked, for he had profaned the revels, and fired the wrath of 9 implacable sisters that loved the sound of the flute.
Should I read that part still, or?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. And old men tell a half-remembered tale of horror done where a dark ledge splits the sea, and a double surf beats on the grey shores, how a king's new woman, sick with hatred for the queen he had imprisoned, ripped out his 2 sons' eyes with her bloody hands, while grinning Ares watched the shuttle plunge 4 times, 4 blind wounds crying for revenge.
Crying, tears, and blood mingled. What is that?
Piteous.
Piteously.
Piteously born, those sons whose mother was of heavenly birth. Her father was the god of the north wind, and she was cradled by gales. She raced with young colts on the glittering hills, and walked untrammeled in the open light. But in her marriage, deathless fate found means to build a tomb like yours for all her joy. Enter blind Tiresias. How does
Tiresias? I don't actually know.
Tiresias, led by a boy.
Whoa,
The
Fiona, that's
opening
you.
speeches of Tiresias should be in sing-song contrast to the realistic lines of Creon.
Singing time.
Sing
Oh
song.
no.
Just be a little boy. Be a little boy.
Okay. This is the way the blind man comes. Princes, princes, lockstep, 2 heads lit by the eyes of one.
What new thing have you to tell us, old Tiresias?
I have much to tell you. Listen to the prophet.
I admit my debt to you, but what have you to say?
Listen, Creon. I was sitting in my chair of augury at the place. The birds gather about me. They were all a chatter, as is their habit, when suddenly I heard a strange note in their jangling, a scream. A whirring fury. I knew that they were fighting, tearing each other, dying, and a whirlwind of wings clashing, and I was afraid. I began the rites of burnt offering at the altar, but Hephaestus, failed me. Instead of bright, whoops. There was only the smell of the fat melting. The entrails dissolved in gray smoke. The bare bone burst from the welter, and no blaze. This was a sign from heaven. My boy described it, seeing for me as I see for others. I tell you, Creon, you yourself have brought new calamity upon us. Our hearths and altars are stained with the corruption of dogs and carrion birds that glut themselves on the corpse of Oedipus' son. The gods are deaf when we pray to them. Their fire recoils from our offering. Their birds of omen have no cry of comfort, for they are gorged with the thick blood of the dead. O my son, these are no trifles. Think, all men make mistakes, but a good man yields when he knows his course is wrong and repairs the evil. The only crime is pride. Give in to the dead man, but do not fight with a corpse. What glory is it to kill a man who is dead? Think, I beg you. It is for your own good that I speak as I do. You should be able to yield for your own good.
It seems that prophets have made me their special province. All my life long, I have been a kind of butt for dull arrows, of doddering fortune tellers. No, Tiresias, if your birds, if the great eagles of God himself should carry him sinking bit by bit to heaven, I would not yield. I am not afraid of pollution. No man can defile the gods. Do what you will. Go into business, make money, speculate in India gold, that synthetic gold from Sardis. Get rich otherwise than by my consent to bury him. Tiresias, it is a sorry thing when a wise man sells his wisdom to let out his words for hire.
Creon, is there no man left in the world?
To do what? Come, let's have the aphorism.
No man who knows that wisdom outweighs any wealth?
As surely as bribes are baser than any baseness.
You are sick, Creon. You are deathly sick.
As you say, it's not my place to challenge a prophet.
You have said my prophecy is for sale.
The generation of prophets has always loved gold.
The generation of kings has always loved brass.
You forget yourself. You are speaking to your king.
I know it. You are a king because of me.
You have a certain skill, but you have sold out.
You drive me to words that...
Say them. Say them. Only remember, I will not pay you for them.
Oh, you will find them too costly. No doubt. Speak. Whatever you say, you will not change my will. Then Then take this and take it to heart. The time is not far off when you shall pay back, corpse for corpse, flesh of your own flesh. You have thrust the child of this world into living night. You have kept from the gods below the child that is theirs, the one on a grave before her death, the other, dead, denied the grave. This is your crime, and the Furies and the dark hell are swift with terrible punishment for you. Do you want to buy me now, Creon? Not many days, and your house will be full of men and women weeping, and curses will be hurled at you from far. Cities grieving for sons unburied, left to rot before the walls of Thebes. These are my arrows, Creon. They are all for you. But come, child, lead me home. Let him waste his fine anger upon younger men. Maybe he will learn at last to control a wiser tongue and a better head.
The old man has gone, king, but his words remain to plague us. I am old too, but I cannot remember that he was never false.
That is true. It troubles me. Oh, it is hard to give in, but it is worse to risk everything for stubborn pride.
Creon, take my advice.
What shall I do?
Go quickly, free Antigone from her, build a tomb for the body of Polyneices.
You would have me do this?
Creon, yes, and it must be done at once. God moves swiftly to cancel the folly of stubborn men.
It is hard to deny the heart, but I will do it. I will not fight with destiny.
You must go yourself. You cannot leave it to others.
I will go. Bring axes, servants. Come with me to the tomb I buried her. I will set her free. Oh, quickly. My mind misgives. The laws of the gods are mighty, and a man must serve them to the last day of his life.
God of many names.
P-A-E-N. Pan.
Yeah, I don't know.
Chorus time.
God of many names. O Ichos of Cadmeans. I can't pronounce any of this. Okay.
This is whack, yeah.
Cadmean
this.
Smeal. Son, O born of the thunder, guardian of the west, region of Eleusis plain, O prince of Maenad Thebes, and the dragon field by rippling is God of many names. The flame of torches flares on our hill. The nymphs of Ichos dance at the spring of Castalia. From the vine-close mountain, come, come in ivy, sings through the streets of Thebes, God of many names. Ichos of Thebes, heavenly child of Semele, bride of the thunderer. The shadow of plague is upon. Come with element feet, O come from Parnassos, down the long slopes, across the lamenting wall. O fire, chorister of the throbbing stars, O purest among the voices of the night. Thou Son of God, blaze for us. Come with auric rapture of circling Maenads, cry to Aich, God of many names.
Ooh. Wow.
That was
Oh my
rough.
gosh, Josh, it's your turn.
Yay.
Men of the line Catamos, you who live near Aphian Citadel, I cannot say of any condition of human life that is fixed. This is clearly good or bad. Fate rises up, and fate casts down the happy and unhappy alike. No man can foretell his fate. Take the case of Creon. Creon was happy once. As I count happiness. Victorious in battle, sole governor of the land, fortunate father of children nobly born. And now it is all gone from him. Who can say that a man is still alive when his life joys fails? He is a walking dead man. Grant him rich. Let him live like a king in his great house. If his pleasure is gone, it would not give so much as a shadow of smoke for all he owns.
Your words hint at sorrow. What is your news for us?
They are dead. They are living guilt of their dead.
Who is guilty? Who is dead? Speak.
Hamian is dead, and the land that killed him is his own hand.
His father's or his own?
His own, driven mad by the murder his father had done.
Tiresias, how clearly you saw it all.
This is my news. You must draw what conclusions you can from it.
But look, Eurydice, our queen. Has she overheard us?
Oh wait, who's Eurydice? We have like nobody playing. Hey Nick Lee, you haven't read in a while. Be Eurydice.
You're a queen now.
You're a
Sick.
queen.
Okay,
Also,
wait.
they misspelled Eurydice 3 ways in one
That's why I was so
paragraph.
confused.
Whoa. Ooh,
cool.
wary dice.
They literally
Okay.
rolled them 3 times with like one line.
I have heard something, friends, as I was unlocking the gate of Pallas's shrine, for I needed her help today. I heard a voice telling me of some new sorrow, and I fainted there at the temple with all my maidens about me. But speak again, whatever it is, I can bear it. Grief and I are no strangers.
I will tell you plainly all that I have seen. I shall not try to comfort you. What is the use? Since comfort could lie only in what is not true. The truth is always best. I went with Creon to the outer plain where Polynices was lying. No friend to pity him, his body shredded by dogs. We made our prayers in that place to Hecate and Pluto. That would be merciful, and we bathed the corpse with holy water, and we brought fresh broken branches to burn what was left of it. And upon the urn we heaped up a towering barrow of the earth of his own land. When we were done, we ran to the vault where Antigone lay on her couch of stone. One of the servants had gone ahead, and while he was yet far off, he heard a voice grieving within the chamber, and he came back and told Creon, and the king went closer. The air was full of willing, the words lost, and he begged us to make all haste. Am I a prophet? He said, weeping, and I must walk this road, the saddest of all that I have gone before. My son's voice calls me on. Oh, quickly, quickly! Look through the crevice there, and tell me if it is Haemon or some deception of the gods. We obeyed, and in the cavern's furthest corner we saw her lying. She made a noose of her fine linen veil and hung herself. Haemon lay beside hers, his arms about her waist, lamenting her, his love lost under the ground, crying out that his father had stolen her away from him. When Creon saw him, the tears rushed to his eyes, and he called to him, What have you done, child? Speak to me. What are you thinking that makes your eyes so stranger? Oh, my son, my son, I come to you on my knees. But Haemon spat in his face. He said not a word, staring, and suddenly drew his sword. He lunged. Creon shrank back. The sword missed, and the boy, desperate against himself, drove it half its length into his own side, and fell. As he died, he gathered Antigone close in his arms again, choking, his blood bright red on her white cheek. And now he lies dead with the dead, and she is at last, his bride, in the houses of the dead.
This
She
is
has
like
left
Romeo
us.
and Juliet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
She has left us without a word. What
But they
can this
die on
mean?
purpose.
It troubles me too, yet she knows what is best. Her grief is too great for public lamentation, and doubtless she has gone to her chamber to weep for dead son, leading her maidens in his dirge.
It may be so, but I fear this deep silence.
I will see what she is doing. I will go in.
But here is the king himself. Oh, look at him, bearing his own damnation in his arms.
Am I muted again? Oh, I'm muted again.
You're not.
No, wait, I'm good.
No, we can
Okay.
hear you.
Nothing you say can touch me anymore. My own blind heart has brought me from darkness to final darkness. Here you see the father murdering the murdered son. And all my civic wisdom. Haman, my son, so young to die. I was the fool, not you, and you died for me.
That is the truth, but you were late in learning it.
The truth is hard to bear. Surely a god has crushed me beneath the hugest weight of heaven, and driven me headlong a barbaric way, to trample out the thing I held most dear, the pains that men will take to come to pain.
The burden you carry in your hands is heavy, but it is not all. You will find more in your house.
What burden worse than this shall I find there?
The queen is dead.
What?
My God.
O port of death, deaf world, is there no pity for me? And you, angel of evil, I was dead, and your words are dead again, or death again. Is it true, boy? Can it be true? Is my wife dead? Has death bred death?
You can see for yourself.
Oh, pity, all true, and more than I can bear. Oh, my wife, my son.
She stood before the altar, and her heart welcomed the knife her own hand guided. And a great cry burst from her lips for Megaris dead, and for Haman dead, her sons, and her last breath was a curse for their father, the murderer of her sons. And she fell, and the dark flowed through her closed eyes.
Oh God, I am sick with fear. Are there no swords here? Has no one a blow for me?
Her curse is upon you for the deaths of both.
It is right that it should be. I alone am guilty. I know it, and I say it. Lead me in, quickly, friends. I have neither life nor substance. Lead me in.
You are right, if there can be right in so much wrong. The briefest way is best in a world of sorrow.
Let it come. Let death come quickly, and kind to me. I would not ever see the sun again.
All that will come when it will, but we, meanwhile, have much to do. Leave the future to itself.
All my heart was in that prayer.
Then do not pray anymore. The sky is deal.
Lead me away. I have been rash and foolish. I have killed my son and my wife. I look for comfort. My comfort lies here dead. Whatever my hands have touched has come to nothing. Fates have brought all my pride to a thought of dust.
There is no happiness where there is no wisdom. Wisdom is submission to the gods. Big words are always punished, and proud men in old age learn to be wise.
We did it.
Yay.
Damn. It's the reason it's called a
Actually-
tragedy.
Quick
So
enough.
everyone just ended up killing themselves.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, everyone
everybody
dies.
died.
Damn.
Literally everybody just
Just
killed
like every
themselves.
character is dead. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't.
Hey guys, I
didn't-
survived.
I didn't see the video on the background of this, so I didn't understand.
yeah, you did. You're the messenger. Go.
So
go
did the
try.
sentry. Hell yeah.
guys-
The sentry,
Who,
the
who here
messenger.
knows the background?
Oh wait, actually, did the sister
wait, okay.
die?
Because this was really confusing.
The sister didn't die,
I wrote
right?
a
No,
whole
because
summary.
he didn't want to kill her because she didn't actually do anything.
Did she kill herself though after knowing that her sister?
Do you guys want me to read my
I don't think so.
summary?
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
sure.
read us your summary.
Yeah.
Okay. Creon, the Lord, summons a sentry to explain the burial rite of a person he, Creon's a man, instructed not to be buried. He accuses the sentry of the crime and the sentry denies it. He goes back and captures Princess Antigone, who the guards saw performing the rite. Antigone is brought before Creon, and Creon forgives her. But Creon gets sassy and asks for death. Or not Creon. Antigone gets sassy and asks for death when because she is guilty. I got lost. There's like 2-inch box. Oh yeah, they argue. Creon loses his patience while Antigone remains calm. Creon asks Ismene if she was guilty, and Ismene admits, but Antigone denies Ismene's part in the crime, arguing that she will not lessen her death by sharing it. Creon hates anarchists. They are the scourge of society. Creon posits that the seduction of women is a greater threat than the strength of a man. Hymen later enters to confront the king and defends Antigone, protecting her brother's corpse from the vultures and the dogs. Creon questions Hymen for defending an anarchist, and Hymen accuses Creon of despotism and infringing upon the right of the gods. Creon threatens to kill Antigone. Hymen flees in a rage. Creon decides to imprison Antigone, where she may pray to the gods of hell, and spares Ismene. Antigone accepts her fate in tragedy, but Corygos claims that she is fortunate not to die from blade or sickness like many other women. The blind prophet Tiresias says that Antigone's burial rite did nothing, and her punishment was for naught. Creon accuses that he is tempted by gold, and Tiresias says that Creon will one day pay the price for putting Antigone to death. Creon reconsiders and asks Corygos to remove Antigone's body from the prison and bury her properly. A messenger comes to Corygos and tells him that Antigone hung herself in the cell, and Hymen clutched at her waist. Prince Hymen lunged with his sword at King Creon, missed, and Creon cut his son down.
Wait,
messenger-
no, that's wrong.
No.
No,
The, he
Hymen killed himself.
killed himself
Yeah, Hymen killed himself.
after he missed his father.
Oh, he just missed and stabbed himself?
No,
He
no,
missed
killed
and then
himself on
stabbed
purpose.
himself after.
He
Yeah.
lunged at his father and then.
Yeah, that's what I said. Okay, that's weird. That doesn't make sense. Okay.
Well, it's suicide.
Yeah.
It's not
I
like
know.
he lunged and then.
He wanted to do a murder
So bad.
suicide, but missed and just gave up.
Yes.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of.
The
yeah.
messenger relays this to Eurydice, and Eurydice kills herself out of grief. Creon, upon learning of his wife's death, wishes for his own death. And that's the end.
Yes.
Wait, so what's
Yeah.
the background for this play?
It's fine. We don't.
The
need
other
to
ones
know.
are like.
Yeah.
the
Why?
best.
Why did they not want them to bury the guy?
Because one of them was a traitor, apparently, and like one of
Yeah.
them died here, and the other one was a traitor, and they, like the traitor being buried properly.
Oh, do we know what they did or he did?
And so I wonder how what this has to do with
Oh,
our
yeah.
gender reading.
Yeah.
Well, there
No,
was
that
a
makes
whole
sense.
section
I mean,
on that
well,
how like he couldn't
and-
be shown as weak because a woman did this.
Yeah,
They
and
relate.
Antigone was killed, like, unjustly mainly just because she was a woman, and that's not explicitly explained, but
There's an
But I
entire
think everyone
section
was
that
was-
relates to
I
the
think
everyone
studies.
was killed by
Pardoned because
justice.
she was a woman at first. Right?
yeah, she was pardoned, and then Antigone was like, "No, I
Yeah.
did this. I mean, why are you pardoning me?"
So she
And
wasn't killed because she's a woman. I don't know.
But she
Well,
killed
yeah, but-
herself.
Well, then she was.
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, she wasn't supposed to. They were supposed to kill her.
What do you mean she wasn't supposed to?
Well,
Like-
the king got
People
mad
have
when
people have that right.
and so that's
Huh?
why he like sent her
Wait,
to
what?
like that.
How can you say someone is not supposed to? That's part
Well,
of.
I don't know that the
Right.
king was planning on it.
This is so confusing. Greek tragedy
Yeah, the
just
king
like
didn't
messed me up
want
so
to kill
much.
her.
No, but once she like started like rebelling against him and started telling him that he's wrong.
Well,
then
once
he
she
did.
was like
Yeah.
strong, which she wasn't
Yeah, 'cause
supposed
he
to
was
be.
like,
Like
oh,
that's
yeah.
not what a woman's
Yeah, he was
supposed
like
to
a
be.
woman.
Right.
He decided to kill her because of that.
No, he didn't kill her. He sentenced her to a vault.
No, he was gonna kill her like at first. He ended
Yeah,
up not.
she
after
was
talking
supposed
about
to
the
be
son.
sentenced to
Like
death.
she was gonna kill her
originally
if she
sentenced to
wasn't.
Oh.
Yeah,
But I'm not
originally
sure-
sentenced to death.
Why
And
does
then
the
she's-
person? Why does he say that he's gonna bury her, but then it's a surprise that she's dead? And like,
Because Tiresias changes Creon's mind, and
Yeah. So
but
he
how,
just-
why would
Creon's
why
like,
would he
okay.
bury her if she's alive?
No, he didn't.
Uh,
He just put her in like a stone crypt where she would like just like get food, but she would just sit there in isolation.
He put
Yeah,
her
I
in
but
think-
that's what he
Oh,
already did.
Yeah.
But isn't that what he already did?
He was going to kill her.
After Tiresias convinced him to, yes. Right?
I think so.
Wait, what?
Well, okay, so I think what happened was Creon went there, and then Hymen was with him, and then they found the body, and then all that happened. I'm not sure what the timeline looks like exactly, but I don't know why Creon would ask for Antigone to be retrieved and buried if she's supposed to be alive. That wouldn't make
Yeah,
sense.
that's what I said. Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
that's
they didn't
weird.
know that
Okay.
she committed suicide.
Well, it's
That's
because
a
one of the
weird-
messengers like went there earlier.
But it doesn't say that.
But the messenger comes to Eurydice first, and also it doesn't say that. Yeah.
Plot hole.
Wacky.
No,
Well,
this
maybe
is
it's not a
plot
plot hole. Maybe it's just
Maybe we just don't
probably does say
understand.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Regardless,
Maybe if we understood ancient Greek and read the original text, we would understand.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
that would make more sense.
Or if we saw it performed. Actually, seeing it performed would be probably really helpful.
Guys, do you know what time it is? It's
Alright.
time for me to read the plot overview from SparkNotes.
All right.
Here.
also, you guys look at this video.
Wait, my internet is cutting out. Mhm.
There.
Isn't it
Oh,
time
we
for
should, we should
Apex-
show the live
time for
the.
Apex with the boys, like 6 at Tuesday?
We push with
can-
the boys. Well, we're gonna do review now because
Yeah,
don't
we're
have
turning.
fix
We're
review.
we're gonna figure.
Are we doing
We should
Are we
put-
doing classes with the boys, like school?
We are. Yeah, we should put these links into the live.
Yeah, we will.
Like,
Yeah.
later.
in the video.
Study.com has a video that's titled "Gender Roles and in Antigone." So if you're
Okay.
confused about that,
Literally, the
we
whole
can
thing
watch
is
that.
gender role.
Let's try to figure
Yeah.
out what actually happened first.
Let's do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna read the plot overview. It's like 15 paragraphs, but it's not too bad. I don't know. Anyway, the chorus introduces the players. Antigone is the girl who will rise up alone and die young. Haman, Antigone's dashing fiance, chats
Ooh,
with
I'm
Ismene, her
dashing.
beautiful sister. Though one would have expected Haman to go for Ismene, he inexplicably proposed to Antigone on the night of a ball. Creon is the king of Thebes, I don't know, bound to the
Thebes.
duties of rule. Okay. Next to the sisters sits the nurse and Queen Eurydice. Eurydice will knit until the time comes for her to go to her room and die. Finally, she guards play cards. I like this. It has foresight, indifferent to the tragedy before them. The chorus recounts the events leading to Antigone's tragedy. Oedipus, Antigone, and Ismene's father had two sons, Eteocles and Polynices. Upon Oedipus's death, it was agreed that each would take the throne from one year to the next. After the first year, however, Eteocles, the elder, refused to step down. Polynices and 6 foreign princes marched on Thebes. All were defeated. I think this is the whole thing. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't
Well, I mean,
read
it
that.
still
It's
works.
helpful
like,
though.
It's like,
Yeah.
like sections.
All were defeated. The brothers killed each other in a duel, making Creon king. Creon ordered Eteocles buried in honor and left Polynices to rot on the pain of death. It is dawn, and the house is still asleep. Antigone sneaks in, and the nurse appears and asks where she has been. Suddenly, Ismene enters, also asking where Antigone has been. Antigone sends the nurse away for coffee. Ismene declares that they cannot bury Polynices and that she must understand Creon's intentions. Antigone refuses and bids Ismene to go back to bed. Suddenly, Haemon enters, and Antigone asks Haemon to hold her with all his strength. She tells him that she will never be able to marry him. Stupefied, Haemon departs. Ismene returns, terrified that Antigone will attempt to bury Polynices despite the daylight. Antigone reveals that she has already done so. Later that day, the nervous first guard enters and informs Creon that someone covered Polynices' body with a little dirt last night. He orders the guards to uncover the body and keep the matter secret. The chorus appears and announces that the tragedy is on. Its spring is wound, and it will uncoil by itself. Unlike melodrama, tragedy is clean, restful, and flawless. In tragedy, everything is inevitable, hopeless, and known.
Death is inevitable.
All are bound to their parts. Oh my goodness. The guards enter with the struggling Antigone. The first proposes that they throw a party. Creon appears, and the first explains that Antigone was found digging Polynices' grave by hand in broad daylight. Creon sends the guards out. Once he is certain no one saw Antigone arrested, he orders her to bed, telling her to say that she has been ill. Antigone replies that she will only go out again tonight. Creon asks if she thinks her being Oedipus's daughter puts her above the law. Like Oedipus, her death must seem like the natural climax to her life. Creon, on the other hand, devotes himself only to the order of the kingdom. Antigone's marriage is worth more to Thebes than her death. Antigone insists that he cannot save her. Enraged, Creon seizes her arm and twists her to his side. Antigone remarks that Creon is squeezing her arm too tightly, but his grasp no longer hurts. Creon releases her. He knows his reign makes him loathsome, but he has no choice. Antigone rejoins maybe, that he should have said no. She can say no to anything she thinks vile. While ruined, she is a queen. Because Creon said yes, he can only sentence her to death. Creon asks her to pity him then and live. Antigone replies that she is not here to understand, only to say no and die.
What? I did not get that.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah.
So they married?
What? No.
What?
Wait,
No.
This doesn't
They
make
didn't
sense.
marry.
This is my feeling right now.
Antigone is Creon's daughter.
Yeah.
Yasha, you
No.
spammed that emoji way too
Oh,
much.
that makes sense then.
She's not Creon's daughter.
She'd become...
Yeah, she's a princess, right?
No, she's not.
No, she's marrying Creon's son, who is a
so
prince.
she's
Oh,
a
yeah.
princess to be, but she's like, that's like,
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
going
Okay,
to
that
be
makes more
princess, but
sense.
they haven't gotten married yet.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Sick. Okay, that'll actually...
With Haemon, the dashing
She's
fiancé.
Oedipus's daughter.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Creon makes a final appeal, saying that Antigone needs to understand what goes on in the wings of her drama. As a child, she must have known her brothers made her parents unhappy. Polynices was a cruel, vicious voluptuary. Being too cowardly to imprison him, Oedipus led him to join the Argive army. As soon as Polynices reached Argos, the attempts on Oedipus's life began. But Eteocles, Thebes' martyr, too plotted to overthrow his father. Both were gangsters. When Creon sent for their bodies, they were found mashed together in a bloody pulp. He had the prettier one brought in.
what?
Oh, God.
Wait, we missed Greek tragedies or something.
This
I
is so
definitely
weird.
didn't get any of this.
Yeah, I didn't get any of that either.
Dazed, Antigone moves to go to her room. Creon urges her to find Haemon and marry quickly. She must not waste her life and its happiness. Antigone challenges her servile happiness. She is of the tribe that asks questions and hates man's hope. A distraught Ismene rushes in, begging Antigone's forgiveness and promising to help her. Antigone rejects her, but she does not deserve to die with her. Ismene swears she will bury Polynices herself then. Antigone calls on Creon to have her arrested, warning him that her disease is catching. Creon relents. The chorus protests. Haemon enters and begs his father to stop the guards. Creon replies that the mob already knows the truth and he can do nothing. Antigone sits before the first guard in her cell. His is the last face she will see. The guard rambles about his pay, rations, and professional quibbles. Antigone interrupts him, pointing out that she is soon to die. She asks how she is to be executed. The guard informs her that she is to be immured. What is immured?
What is immured?
To be locked up, essentially, and then left to die.
Oh, fun. Yeah, that's the whole vault thing. Okay. The guard asks if he can do anything for her. She asks if she could give someone a letter, offering him her ring. Reluctant to endanger his job, the guard suggests that she dictate her letter and he write it in his notebook in case they search his pocket. Antigone winces
This
but accepts.
definitely didn't happen.
Yeah, what the hell?
So weird. This is not what happened at all.
Maybe we had a very short version.
Yeah, it's weird.
You sure we read this, or
Is this like this might be
read
from a previous
parts of
book? Maybe.
Yeah, it might be from what happened before.
No. The last paragraph.
This is the
just,
overall
The
summary.
last paragraph is essentially the part we read.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, we'll get to that then. She recites her letter. Forgive me, my darling. You would all have been so happy except for Antigone. Suddenly, a drum roll is heard, and the guards lead Antigone out. The chorus enters, announcing that it is Creon's turn. The messenger delivers the news. Antigone had just been immured. When the crowd heard Haman's moan from within, Creon howled for the slaves to remove the stones. Antigone had hung herself. Haman then stabbed himself and lay beside Antigone.
Yeah, so he did kill himself. That's what I was saying.
Wait.
I
what-
knew he killed
that's what
himself.
we
I
all
thought
agreed
originally.
on that.
Yeah, we all
Wait,
agree.
no, somebody was saying that like he was trying to kill his dad. No.
No, he. There was the whole part in the reading we did that said he lunged at his dad and missed, which
What?
is
He
not what I
did.
got originally.
No, he lunged at the wall, I thought, and then he like impaled himself or something like that.
it was
No.
his dad, right? And then
he
he
lunged
missed,
at his
and then
dad and then killed himself.
Oh my god.
This is so confusing.
And
Yeah.
suddenly, okay, here's inside
See,
9-7.
watching
and
Shrek's so
suddenly,
much easier.
And suddenly drew his sword and
Hey, I want to
lunged.
rewatch this.
Creon shrank back, the blade missed, and the boy, desperate against himself, drove it half its length into his own side and fell.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So
Exactly.
So the summary and the document have different.
this summary
This is so
Yes.
is really different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, also like the
There's probably
document that we
different
used was
versions.
like I think it was badly transcribed. Like
Yeah,
they
it's
put-
possible,
that.
but
It's awful,
It
yeah.
had a ton of typing errors in it. They misspelled Eurydice's name 4 different ways. They didn't capitalize the I's, which made me super annoyed. And they did a whole bunch of other stuff.
it wasn't the best, but that's
Yeah.
It's fine.
okay.
We get the general idea.
Those were so funny,
Okay.
though.
Anyway,
Here, I'll finish the summary because we're almost done. Eurydice finished her row of knitting, climbed to her room, and cut her throat. Oh, she actually did commit suicide. Good.
yeah.
Creon is alone. The chorus notes that, truly, if it had not been for Antigone, all would have been at peace.
Yeah, in the book it's like 250
No,
lines longer than in the document.
Wait, what?
The book is like in this copy of book I have, there's like way more lines than there are in the
So
document.
that whole part about the
Yeah.
letter is probably in there, right?
No, that would make sense, yeah.
We missed the entirety of that.
Only the guards are left and the tragedy does not matter to them. Oh.
Aw.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, that was interesting. Hmm.
It was.
Wait,
Oh,
There's-
here.
that many parts? Whoa.
Creon in a power struggle. Creon's
What?
view of women. This is I think this study.com video is behind a paywall.
That's
Oh,
I'm gonna try and find a different one. I found someo's random Prezi on the internet. We should.
Oh, that's perfect. Let's
You
look at
saw
it.
my
Yeah.
my gif.
Dude, yeah, live stream. it.
What?
Yeah, are we live streaming
Wait, are we
all of
still
this?
live, Josh?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, why not? Sick.
Nice.
Someone send me a link.
Wait,
It's got
everybody open that up.
14,000 views. Surely it's right. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Here's directly from the Prezi. Line 76. When Antigone is telling Ismene her plan to bury her brother, Ismene says, "We must remember that by birth woman, and as such we shouldn't fight with men." That's a typo. Since those rule are much more powerful. We must obey in this and in events which bring us even harsher agonies. This shows that Ismene believes that since she is a woman, she does not have any power. She thinks that she cannot stand up for what she believes in just based on her gender. And then Creon says, "No woman's going to govern me. No, not while I'm still alive." This shows that Creon believes that women shouldn't have power, basically. And Antigone, on line 500, says to Creon, "I admit it. I won't deny that." And in line 505, Antigone also says, "I'd heard of it. How could I not? It was public knowledge." So she's responding to Creon when Creon asks her if she knew of the laws that he had made against burying Antigone's dead brother. Oh, it was her brother. Okay.
It was her actual
wait,
brother?
That was, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
that,
she
was,
says-
that was the whole thing.
So why
Yeah.
did Antigone kill her brother?
No, she didn't kill her brother. No,
Her
Did
brother
not
No,
kill
no.
she
him.
wanted to bury her brother. Yeah, they fought each other and they killed each other.
Brother,
But
the
wanted to
brothers,
bury
yeah.
both of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
This
Anyway,
is so bad.
this shows that she knows she has the strength to do her own thing. This is weirdly worded. She isn't going to let men control her, and she has power to. Is
She's
what
a
the Prezi
strong,
says.
independent black woman.
Yes. Line 61, Ismene says to Antigone, "We are women. It is not for us to fight against men. Our rulers are stronger than we, and we must obey in this, or in worse than this." This quote from Ismene suggests that she believes she is weaker than men since she is a woman, and because of that, she and Antigone should obey Creon and the laws that the man makes. And yeah, that's pretty much everything.
Yeah, I guess that's all the gender roles. So
I guess that makes sense. So it's just like how like this king ruled against her just based on gender, and then
Yeah, and it shows
Yeah.
how in Greek culture men and women were definitely not equal.
Yeah, okay. We had to read a whole story for that.
Yeah.
yeah.